Hey there, it's Spiero, and you're watching Buy and Hold Fundamentals, episode 54. Last of the week on Indianapolis, we're going to look at another 20 single family uh, rental properties, doing a simple initial analysis to um, what's I'm trying to think of a lyric from a song. Anyway, can't remember it. So what we're trying to do is to filter through as many properties as possible to try and pick out the ones that are potentially interesting. Where potentially interesting means a certain level of cash flow, a certain level of cash and cash return at a certain price. Um, Typically for me, that's $100 cash flow minimum and a 10% cash on cash return minimum. All of this is based on uh, uh, far from perfect data, meaning I'm getting it off of Zillow. And once you go through that initial analysis, a lot of additional homework is required. Um, the other thing that looking at a lot of data gives us is information and data statistics on a particular area, a particular city, a neighborhood, or what have you, so that you start getting a feel of what particular houses go for, the kind of rents you can get for it, what kind of taxes are typical, what kind of taxes are atypical, as well as all the rest. And that is part of getting the tools, acquiring the tools that allow you to identify deals as opposed to being led astray. So, with all of that preamble, let's continue. Just one more thing. If you like this, please tell a friend about being able to see the practical mechanics of doing deal analysis day in, day out. You can tune in whenever you want, but there is this is more or less what it takes just to work your way through a market. And if you like it, please subscribe to my channel. I'd like to get some exposure to what I'm doing here, mainly so that there's enough people watching so we can start having conversations about real estate deal analysis. I'm sure there's plenty that I still can learn, and having people to talk with and sharing experiences is the best way that I know to do that. I'm basically doing this as a discipline for myself and because I'm looking for people to talk real estate with. All right, that's $54 and 3% isn't going to make it. Oh, come on. What else can I say? The other thing is that you'll notice that I am gathering 4 pieces of information. That's the address of the property, the price, or the asking price, which isn't necessarily what it's going to close for, the estimated market rent coming out of Zillow, $825, which is, like I said, far from perfect. I'm sticking the price and the estimated rent in here, and then I'm going to go and grab taxes as well, $1273, and then the rest is kept constant. But there's a lot of assumptions here, which you can find in something about in one of the videos I did on one of the Sundays about my my spreadsheet, or just watch here long enough and you'll figure out yourself. Rent ratio here is almost 1.3. We're seeing that it's still a bit low. We know that the rent ratio needs to be a little bit higher. You're seeing that the expense ratio is a tad on the high side, and therefore $59 and 3%. That's not going to make the cut either. Okay. Enough talk for now. Let's start getting through some properties. Taxes, I'm going to leave them like that. Probably negative 85, negative 3, 85, negative 3, no taxes. Okay. What about this one? That's kind of out there. I wonder what's. I wonder what sort of happened to Zillow's formula to bump it up there. Interesting. What's that say? Even they're saying it's a starting point, right? There is no claim from their perspective that that's a true representation of reality. 1608. You're going to have to do your homework there and figure out what's real. 155 and 9%, almost. And that's because of that lovely rent ratio. Okay. Right at the top of our range, because I'm really not looking at anything over 150. The only real thing I'd consider paying more than 154 is a quadplex. And that's only because I think that that's not, hold on a second, we didn't get the taxes. Because I'm thinking about how I spread my risk by 165, 4%, minus 165, minus 4. How do I manage my risk by having lots of doors? The more places I have, duplex, 750 aside. So that's going to come out as 1,500. Nothing on taxes. Okay. Call that. 2,215, 7%. What about this one? That's a duplex. Use the assumption that we have 4 duplexes in these neighborhoods. Zillow is not going to pick up on that because their formula can't tell if it's a single family or a duplex or anything else. And taxes are what? 584. 584. 281, 60%. 281, 16. There we go. And that's not working out. On to the next one. Interesting. Why is that rent so much higher? And is that true? 994. Start with that 994. And then I can't remember what that was. 1290. 1290. And what was that? Where's that guy? Just over 152, but just 5%. Okay, on we go. Let's do these first. Well, come on, stop it with the... Hello? There we go. Where were we? We were here, right? Did I... This we did. 900. 590. Maybe not. 900 we did. But we didn't stick it in here. Okay. Getting ahead of myself. What was the taxes? $590. $242.19. 219. And then I'm going to delete that. Go back. Close this. Go to this guy. Mm-hmm. $725. $414. 165. 14%. 65. 14. Yeah, not interested in looking at mystery properties. There we go. Duplex. Really cheap duplex, probably needs a lot of work. No pictures on the inside, not a good sign. Needs some repairs. Yeah. But taxes. Okay. Always be suspicious of cash on cash returns that are this high. But, you know, maybe you get lucky. $180 and $12. Okay, 24. 25. $198.17. Duplex. 24, 23, 51%. $82, 5%. 82, 5%. Sweep these guys up. $600. Claiming a 13.5% cap rate. Let's see if that holds up. 600 taxes. 733. Right. I don't know how we figured out the cap rate. But that's nowhere near 13.5%. I guess if you don't have any vacancies, repairs, capex expenses, property management, you buy everything cash, maybe. That's what happens. Let's have a look. When's it get to? Okay, so he is still assuming some kind of expenses, some kind of capex. Okay. I don't buy it. $64, 5%. $637. 637. 800. 171. 13%. All the pictures are on the side. That's great. Again, someone's trying to sell a house and they can't be bothered to go into a picture editor and straighten up the pictures. Just don't get it. I just don't get it. 218, 26, 218, 26, and the last one for today. Look, Ma, it's got walls. What's with that picture? $675 according to them. Let's see how it works out with them numbers. 675 taxes 764. 171, 22%. Okay. All right. Did another 20 properties today. We finished the 100 for the week on Indianapolis. I'll be back tomorrow with some conclusions about this market, prices, rent rates, cap rates, what that says, rent ratios, what we can look out for, and other things. That's about it. You've been watching Buy and Hold Fundamentals. I'm Spiero, and again, if you like what you're seeing, give us a like, subscribe. See you tomorrow.